Hello and welcome back to the Inverted Castle, a Metroidvania enthusiast podcast. I'm a spaceship, not a metaphor or anthropomorphized, just a literal spaceship named Eric Fox. And joining me as always is a man who is definitely the evil twin in our particular stick shooter, Tom Blight.
I'm also a spaceship. Look, that's the only thing. You're either a spaceship or some kind of sprite.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Like, we're twins. Otherwise, it would... Not fraternal twin stick shooter. No, we're talking about a more, well, still not a classic twin stick shooter in Minishoot Adventures, a game by SoulGame Studio. I believe this is another French outfit, which, so, you know, they just keep winning, apparently, between Mio and Expedition. But no, Minishoot Adventures is a top-down twin stick shooter, Metroidvania Zelda-up type thing. I think this is like the third time or third game we've covered that more or less matches that description.
Yeah, that's fair. There was Absence of Light and The Night Witch.
I can't think of any other ones. So to begin with, I guess just initial thoughts overall from you.
I mean, it was a smooth experience, but it turns out that I do kind of need that story.
You need a larger shoot, or I guess less shoot and more adventure.
I guess.
Actually, yeah, no part of the title really appeals to what you're going for here. Because there's enough exploration, adventure, there's enough shoot, and it's, I don't know, your ship's kind of small, which, you know, is good for weaving between bullets, but yeah, I can kind of understand what you're talking about there. There's very little with regards to context, like the opening cutscene of this society that gets, you know, upended by the Unchosen coming back, which is also a spaceship. Yeah, they're all just cute little rounded edges, you know. Like, at no point do you go to space, so calling them spaceships, it seems weird, but I don't know how else to describe them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a race of ship people.
Yeah, very little dialogue. I think only coming from this deity-like being who sends you on your quest. But yeah, guess we'll just hop right into, you know, spoilers for what story there is, as well as, you know, all of the mechanics that you'll find along the way. But speaking personally, I thought that, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It is a very smooth experience. It is a very well-designed one. Gets out while the getting's good. And so if you're someone who doesn't care for story, it's not going to get in your way. But yeah. Hey, Tom, do you remember what the arc of this game is?
I mean, it's basically, hey, the Unchosen has come. You're the new chosen one. Hope you don't go bad like the last one. As you find out, like, the few details there are later, it's like, yeah, the Unchosen was literally the chosen one, got good, and then refused to give it up.
Right. And that power corrupted or something, and now all of your friends from your ship society are trapped, encased in these purple crystals, and you got to go find them, as well as defeat various forces of malevolence that also take the shape of big spaceships as you defeat the Unchosen, and optionally divest yourself of the power once your adventure comes to its absolute 100% end.
Yeah, I didn't actually finish that stuff. Did it satisfyingly end the narrative? Because I had a feeling it would not.
I think it mechanically satisfied the end. It does a weird thing that's similar to what, I almost spoiled another game that did this, and I'm not sure if I should. But it does a similar thing that another notable game did, where in order to complete your objective or whatever, you have to delete your save file. So you just kind of like do all of the available tasks. Theoretically, you don't have to do them perfectly, and there might still be other more optional goodies to collect. But yeah, it'll say like, okay, will you make the choice your predecessor didn't and just delete your save file? Can no longer come back to this fully powered ship you have. And they make good on it. Your save file does get deleted, which is fine because, at that point you've done everything and it's not a long game.
Yeah.
Unlike that other non-specified popular game.
Yes, non-specified heartthrob book activity.
We might be talking about different things. Okay. Because that doesn't make any sense to me for the game I was trying to reference. But
oh, okay.
You know what? That's a mystery for, I guess the mystery for the audience and myself. But what shouldn't be a mystery is the weird apostrophe in the title, which I guess I'll also just pull that Band-Aid off now.
Oh yeah, what's with the apostrophe?
Did you ever look it up?
No, I didn't.
It's very underwhelming.
Oh, okay.
So basically, being French studio, their English is not first language. Apparently, they want it to be a shortening of minimalist shooter. So, like, you get the mini there, that's fine. But they got it in their heads that, like, okay, so, like, with roll-in and, like, hang-in, you drop the G and add an apostrophe, right? Well, they kind of extrapolated that more broadly than an English speaker would. And thus we got something that is, I think, more notable than for missing entirely.
Okay. I mean, like, if they had just put the R on, I think it would have made more sense.
Oh, yeah.
But
they didn't. And that makes it more unique. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. English is a broken language full of sad, broken people. I am 100% behind busting up the language whenever possible. Good job, team.
Okay.
Mes amis. Also, yeah, unrelated to the story, which, yeah, such as it is, you do meet some, like, you'll find your friends throughout, your adventure, free them. They'll unlock various shops and or services in the main hub.
Yeah.
But no real dialogue. They have these cute little chirping, whistling language, I guess it is.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, a little bit of a pet peeve of mine of, like, you rescue a person and then they just kind of disappear and you have no idea what they do.
Sure.
If anything.
Yeah, rescuing your family, I don't think they do anything. Maybe getting them all gets you a piece of heart. I literally can't remember.
Getting them all gives you the special heart that blocks, was it 15% of the time when you get hit?
Okay, one of the upgrades, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's kind of a big one, getting your family. But, like, there's a bunch of them that just kind of skitter off, and you're like, okay. And then you go back to the town, and they're there, but they don't apparently do anything.
I think most of them do if they're visible in the town.
At least the first one that I got, I think, was the one that just kind of hangs out in the north and doesn't seem to have any purpose.
Huh. The first one I got was the blacksmith who upgrades your gun.
I mean, he's already available, isn't he, right at the beginning?
Oh, is he already there? I might be thinking of the shopkeep then. Either the shopkeep or the map upgrader.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine, but it's just like, I don't know what I got.
Meanwhile, I'm not going back to the hub all that often, so I might have collected a couple of them by that point. I guess I was less interested mechanically so much as I was already in the mode of, well, I'm just getting everything, obviously.
Fair.
What they can do for me isn't as important. I'm not interested in instrumentalizing everyone in my life. This is why you're the evil twin. This is also why way back in Unsighted, you were reaping all of our friends. Listen, you have a pattern.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I also had the map person before I had any map to map.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know. Somehow it worked out that I was like, why are all these people just, like, showing up and then all they do is chirp?
Huh. Like, I only had the one map fragment, but this is a game that when you're nearby the chunk of map, and there's, like, I think 9 pieces, if that, total for the whole overworld. None of the dungeons have maps, but yeah, when you're nearby a map fragment, you'll get a little ping, like sonar, basically, saying, like, hey, you're close to a thing. So they're kind of hard to miss, although sometimes a little harder to know which circuitous route to get to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where to go from here?
I mean, we can talk about what there is in the way of abilities and traversal abilities.
Sure. So, like, yeah, there's no story to hook you, but I guess that leaves the gameplay. And did that at least do anything for you?
It was fine. I think I was bored of it by the end of it, but
Oh, no.
I don't know. For me, there weren't enough interesting complications happening, I guess. It's just like the systems were the systems.
What difficulty did you use?
I used normal, and I guess that's the problem of like it was fine, but I felt like I reached a steady state of I can't possibly change anything about the strategy other than dodge better.
Okay. Yeah, I was on the harder difficulty. There's basically easy, normal, and hard. I'm not sure how normal affects the rest of the game. I dropped down to that for the post game, but throughout the main game, I thought that the hard mode did keep the pressure on. Definitely there are encounters where I would need to focus either on prioritizing weaker enemies to just kind of clear out and simplify, and other times have to like, okay, well, this one is stationary, so I can just position away from it. And yeah, I did feel like it was engaging my mind a bit. So I'm not sure if that would have ameliorated that bit for you, but I can understand if you're not being challenged, that's what the game's got, because I don't think the exploration and platforming really demand much from you.
It's not even like not being challenged. It's just feeling like the patterns got old.
Oh no.
By the end of the game, I was kind of like, well, yep, this is the game.
Huh.
That's a weird complaint, considering that I played through it very quickly. And it's like, I don't know, I was having fun at the start of it. Like, exploring felt good.
Sure.
I don't know.
And then it didn't change enough so that I guess you're just kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we should get into like how exploration changes, because that's how the game opens up in the overworld. Is you'll get a new movement or upgrade to your firepower that unlocks more of the map to explore. So to begin with, you're just kind of moving around. This is a twin stick shooter. Waves of bullets just kind of wave in between. Then I believe the first one is the boost.
Yes, it's the dash part of the boost.
I think do you start with a dash or no?
You start with nothing, just the gun.
Okay. Yeah, and so you get like a dash, but then you also get a mode either quickly after or with that, where by holding the dash button, you just start going fast in general, which lets you clear these like little jump sections to platform.
Yeah.
As well as being a way to quickly maneuver in a firefight. And I believe you get the super shot, which blows up walls.
Yes, and also lights torches. I was kind of surprised when that happened, where I was like, oh, okay. Basically everything that I thought was, hey, this is going to be a power later, is in fact the same power.
Yeah. Breakable walls and torches are both solved with the same key.
Yeah. Breakable walls, rocks.
Enemies.
Yes, I mean, that's fine. That is appropriate for an ability to not just be a out of combat thing, right?
Indeed. It also just became the default, like, okay, I'm barely using my regular shot in earnest, like, may as well be holding the right stick in the way of enemies, but unless I'm holding that right trigger, I'm not expecting to blow much up.
I suppose. I mean, I constantly was reallocating my stats to more DACA, so...
Same here. I'll get into the stats once we're done with the movement here.
Yeah.
But I think on hard mode, definitely reliance on power shot to get through the higher health enemies quickly.
Yeah. And then what else is there? Eventually you get the ability to surf on water.
I believe surf on water is more or less the last one that really matters.
Yeah. Then there's some optional ones, right?
Yes. Of note, the boosting to go fast as well as your super shot use the same meter. It doesn't usually come up too much. When you're in a firefight, you're not boosting all that much, usually relying on the quick dash. But occasionally in some boss encounters and movement patterns, it's a thing to keep in mind because it does recharge rather slowly.
Yeah. And it was an interesting choice not to actually have any visual indication of that.
Oh, that you've run out?
Yeah, like having a meter at all, right?
It's on your ship.
Yes, but your ship is a tiny thing. It's not like you can see, like, oh, yep, my magic meter is down at the bottom. Better let it recover.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe this is me playing on a monitor, like a foot from my face. I never had trouble reading the ship bars.
No, it was a whole living room away from me. If there was a like any sort of gradient to it, I couldn't tell. I could tell when I ran out.
Yeah, which you can tell when you run out because your gun stops being the splashy blue beam. And then you just have to get a feel for the timing for when it's more or less recharged, I guess.
Or just try it again and like, okay, you only get a couple seconds of it. That's fine.
Like, that's actually one of the aesthetic things I kind of liked was having that bar be like a part of the ship rather than another UI element. But I guess that in the context of accessibility, perhaps, it wasn't a great solution, and maybe an option for a more clear indication would have been in order.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't bother me that much. It's just like, oh, okay. This is the UI that you've gone for. It's minimalist.
That's the thing. It might be too mini for this particular shoot. But like they have HUD elements for your health and for your special weapons, or yeah, your special tools, I guess, that don't really have any use for traversal. They're just combat, where you can have essentially it's a Toho bomb, clears bullets, damages enemies, get off me tool. You have your time slow move to weave and get in more Daka while you can.
Yeah, I never really found that useful.
I did occasionally on bosses there are certain, we'll say, phases that I found that like, okay, well, I'm just going to activate time slow and get through this faster than usual. Otherwise, I will get overwhelmed.
The other thing is that it's on the dodging hand, and it's just like, no, I can't take my finger off of the dodge button in order to press this power, apparently.
You can have two fingers up there on the triggers and bumper.
It's true, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. Playing on a Switch Pro controller, I don't find that very comfortable.
I see. It's the Switch controller's fault.
But yeah, I found that one pretty much useless. And then the third one, which is Spirits, which is the traditional, like, you get two little drones that shoot for you.
Yeah, they're not quite the greatest drones I'd like, where they're like an extra source of like firing. They really just fly at enemies, and it's extra damage for while they're available.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll disappear. I found them less interesting just because it was might as well activate it. There's no real strategy involved. It was just...
Yeah. I mean, they showed up so late that I had already gotten the Scarab upgrade for it before I got it.
I believe I did too.
It's like, I don't know, this feels silly.
My drones are upgraded. The hell are drones?
Yeah. It's like, okay, these spirit things actually do something at some point, other than make me race.
Yes. The races, which is the one bit of gameplay that isn't waves of enemies and minor platforming.
Yeah.
Did you... I almost hesitate to ask.
They were fine.
There it is, yeah, I knew it.
Like, the only problem that I had with them is, like, at some point they got hard enough where if you goof up once, you're just like, can I just have a restart button?
Yeah, the lack of a quick restart, you have to just follow the whole trail back to the beginning again. Kind of rough. I got a bit lucky that I never had to restart more than once on any of them, except for the post-game extra, like, super hard one.
Yeah.
That one took a few tries. But yeah, like, it's weird because I guess we can get into how you can upgrade your ship, which is through killing stuff and blowing up debris. You get levels. You invest those levels into various parts of your ship, one of which is speed. I never had to upgrade speed or the boost speed either.
Yeah.
To win any of these.
That's just kind of where points went when I didn't have anywhere else to put them and then reclaim them later.
Okay, so I put everything basically in more damage to gun. Gun fires faster, which is separate.
Yeah.
Gun fires further, which is separate. Occasional add-in things where gun fires, what was it? It's not more frequently, but there's another one.
I mean, there's crit chance. Or critic chance.
Yeah, critic chance. Critic with an apostrophe, obviously.
Yeah, critic, you know? The chance that someone leaves a review.
Oh, geez.
I don't know.
You've been awfully critic, apostrophe, so far.
Yeah, and then there is bullets go faster.
That was it. That was the one I was trying to think of.
Which, like, I assume that does not actually modify the rate of fire, but maybe it helps you track enemies that are moving more because they're gonna move out of the way. It was never an issue. I don't know.
Yeah, it helps with aiming more or less because your bullet gets to its target faster, but it doesn't change how many bullets will be fired in an amount of time. So if it's a big boss, which is usually what's actually going to matter, it doesn't affect your DPS at all.
Yeah.
And so outside of that, it was upgrading your power shot, which is also a separate thing, and then upgrading your bonus tools. By the end of the game, past all the post-game stuff, I still didn't have nearly enough levels to upgrade everything. So boost and speed never got touched, and was still able to do the bonus post-game race. It was tight, for sure, but I kind of made a... I'm not sure if it was a matter of pride, more or less curiosity, if the game could be beaten without any upgrades. And seems like it is, because all of those other things for damage and whatnot obviously just play better and never get hit.
Clearly. Yeah.
Clearly.
I feel like the range one might be the biggest problem at some point, right? Because, like, you just got to get right up on things at the lowest range.
Oh, yeah. The range upgrades are probably the biggest jump in terms of your ability to change your strategy, I guess, because sometimes you'll be able to stay at a safe distance during phases or attacks where the bullets will just literally not reach you. Or, yeah, certain enemies are just way easier if you can take care of them before they see you or get close. Theoretically, it doesn't increase your DPS, but in practice, it very much does.
Yeah.
Especially when, there are more bullets to dodge around on, say, a higher difficulty, and safe spots are at a premium. Like, again, it's not a long game. It's not a very complicated game. Like, I hesitate to compare it to Toho because I feel like that guy who has only ever seen Boss Baby meme. Anytime I see a pattern of bullets in any context whatsoever, I'm just like, oh, getting some Toho vibes from that. And given that Toho has never been a twin stick shooter, I'm not sure how apt it is, but,
Fair.
There are bullet patterns. It affects how you approach bosses. Every phase is a different pattern. That's how they differ up the gameplay. I don't know.
I mean, like, yes, it's a bullet hell. I feel like there's a fair amount that's not very Toho-like.
Sure.
In particular, like, yes, individuals have patterns, but I feel like a lot of the encounters outside of bosses is just going to be like, okay, there are so many different patterns producing things that this just feels like random bullshit go sometimes.
Sure. I usually approach those with identifying which enemies I found most annoying and, prioritizing them in the context that they're presented. I do hear you that it does get a little one note. Like, I definitely had the strategy of, okay, as soon as an encounter starts, whatever's spawning in this position, I'm just going to power shot it down and then just dodge until my power shot comes back up. Rinse and repeat.
Oh, okay, you can still attack. It still deals damage. Maybe on hard it doesn't deal enough damage?
No, I'm also still firing.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I should imply that more stringently. It's just like, in my mind, it's not worth mentioning.
Fair.
Because, I'll take care of a few of the, weaker or, tier 1 and 2 enemies with that. While I'm dodging, it's like, I'm not taking my hand entirely off the right stick. There's no point. But I'm definitely not, keyed in on aiming so much as dodging at that point. Stuff like that.
Fair. There definitely came a point where I would just groan every time an invincible thing appeared. It's like, great. I'm just going to have to deal with that pattern while I fight everything else.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the video game. I don't know what to tell you.
Which is I don't know. I guess it's at least a little different from, just take down the thing with the hardest pattern first and then deal with the rest of it. But I don't know.
I didn't get annoyed beyond this is a challenge I must overcome. I was pretty accepting of, of course, there's going to be different arenas with built-in hazards that you can't just blow up. At a certain point, maybe you just don't like this kind of game. Because I was fine with, this is a complicated bullet pattern to dodge, and there's only so many things I can actually eliminate.
Yeah, I started getting annoyed by weird things of like the different bullet sizes kind of bothered me.
Why is that?
I don't know why it bothered me so much.
Yeah, why is that? Let's actually dig down here.
I think it's mostly just like sometimes you would just end up really zoomed out and this tiny frickin' bullet would end up hitting you. It's like, I don't think I could have perceived that bullet.
Okay, this is another... I think what actually is the problem here is that this game wasn't designed to be played far away. And it's kind of wild that it didn't get a Switch port until relatively recently. Like, it originally came out in 2024, just on PC, I believe. But this seems like the kind of game you'd want, like, in a handheld, like, close up, in order to perceive these finer, like, details. You know?
Yeah, fair. I mean, yeah, maybe the problem was that wait, yeah, that is really recent. Wow, it's like March this year?
Yeah.
That it got released for Switch?
Yeah, I think it got sent off to a different porting team, but yeah, it seems well suited to that form factor, personally speaking. And also, for the genre, like, guy who's only ever played Toho, weaving between bullets is usually a matter of very small, like, gaps. And so that kind of... I could not imagine playing a Toho game 10 feet away from it on a couch.
Fair. Yeah. I never actually played it in handheld.
That's not how you like to play games, and that's fair. I'm saying this is an actual criticism I think is fair to be levied.
I mean, I did it sometimes with some other games, not this one. Like, Mio actually ran very poorly on the Switch one.
Oh, no.
In handheld.
I think this one would be fine. It definitely doesn't seem like it does anything too crazy graphically.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if there's anything in the accessibility options menu that could help with that. I'm not sure if you checked that out.
No, I did not at all.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a fairly robust set of tools there for other things, if one were to be so inclined. But I'm not sure if there's anything that will help with specifically your problem of it's disappeared. It's micro shoot at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that was only an occasional thing when it decided it wanted to be really zoomed out, right?
Right.
Like, normally it was much more reasonably zoomed. Though it's news to me that you could track the meter on the ship.
Oh, yeah. Like, when the things are getting hectic, it's hard, the same way reading any bit of UI would be hard when bullets are flying and I'm more concerned with dodging and weaving. But... I could always check, like, okay, I'm halfway full. I'll hold off before firing again.
I mean, was there any point to that? Does it give you more for doing it when you're full?
It's more that my windows of opportunity are like, I want to make the most of them. And so having a full tank to just dump is better than getting halfway through and then going back into a recharge and having to wait for... There is a bit of delay from when you stop shooting and it filling back up.
Fair.
It's not much of one, but, it was a thing to consider. And now that I think about it, maybe it didn't matter. Maybe I was overcomplicating things. But yeah, like, it does sound like also, even in these cases where you got hit, that's like a point or two of damage and you're still probably making through the encounter okay because it doesn't sound like you had a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah, that was fine. I got a little annoyed with when it starts introducing the black shots.
The ones that do double damage?
No, the black shots are the ones that just instant kill you.
Oh, those were like pink to me.
Oh.
Or they had like a pink outline?
Because there's the red and black ones are the double damage.
Yes.
And, okay, pink is one of the things that is very hard for colorblind people to perceive.
Okay.
So... I
was about to ask, yes.
I thought they were black maybe towards purple on the outline, but just white in the center. Were they pink? Maybe.
To my memory, I couldn't tell you all the details of all the particle effects, but in my mind, yes, the pink ones. And it seems like you might have needed to take a look at the old accessibility options to better perceive them, or were you just annoyed at the concept of an insta-kill?
I mean, they were used in spots where it wasn't actually that big of a deal. At some point, I was just like, whatever, man. What even are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're using this instant kill as just like, oh, you failed the trap, go back to start.
Mm-hmm.
None of the rooms were too far away from the respawn point that used it, But
I'll say the respawn points are pretty cleverly dispersed, usually at the beginning of a dungeon that is built out in a hub and spoke model. And I think on the overworld, there's only the one respawn point in the central location.
yeah.
And as you unlock shortcuts and gain abilities, nothing is ever that far away from anything else,
Yeah.
even without any sort of fast travel. I think overall world design, really clever, really polished. I was impressed. Looking for a thing to be notable to counteract all this.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just being overly negative. It was fine.
This sounds like a game you would have just dropped or never even engaged with if not for me saying, hey, this is what we're doing for a month.
It's funny, like, I don't know why I'm coming into this with so much negative energy. Because, like, I played through it and was like, this is fine.
Yeah.
I got to the point of it being like, okay, now go find the Unchosen in the map. I was like, all right, I'll finish this out. And then got to the post-game arena and was like, did one whole side and then was like, I don't need to keep doing this. This isn't sparking joy.
And that's fair. You've already beaten the game, really. I'm not sure how well known this like actually got around, but do you remember the game Her Story?
Yes.
Like, it's kind of an open-ended thing, doesn't really have a bespoke ending.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, do it. Tell me.
So there's a like Steam help discussion being like, hey, how do I know when I'm done here? And someone responds quite helpfully like, oh, you just play until you're satisfied. To which the opener comes back with, but how do I know when I'm satisfied? And at first blush, you're just like, ha, stupid. But it hasn't left my brain because I'm like, how often am I doing things beyond satisfaction? Like, how do I know when I'm satisfied? And so I think you understood yourself in that moment of the post game being like, you know what? I've gotten everything I'm going to get out of this game and left happily or lukewarmedly, apparently.
Yeah. The exploration was much more the interesting part to me than once it became arenas. I was just like, all right, I was putting up with the arenas, which were fine in order to get the exploration, but now there's none of the exploration.
Yeah. I was almost on the same page of giving up at the arena. Less that I was not having fun and more that it was difficult enough because these arenas are a jump in difficulty as well as a bunch of boss refights with new patterns, that I realized it would take more time to learn to beat them on hard. That it like, okay, well, I'm just going to get frustrated and I kind of don't want to come back to this tomorrow or whenever to actually beat it. So I just drop it down in difficulty because I did want to see the new patterns, because the last thing, and it's an optional upgrade weirdly, but the last thing you'd get more or less is your dodge is able to go between bullets.
Yeah.
Because usually you just run into them and then get hit. But with that, you can kind of actually dodge. And so knowing that, this last arena group then changes up patterns such that it now incorporates things that you need to dodge through, and thus a bit more complexity, a bit more variation. I wanted to see that, and I'm glad I did, because I thought it made a more, a satisfying mechanical topper, I guess, before giving up my save file and never returning ever again.
That frickin' tree.
Sorry, what?
So...
Is this a non sequitur, or are you looking outside?
No. So the tree that you go to go fight the Unchosen.
Oh, sure.
The Meta Knight. That's how I was thinking of him, because he's got purple and the yellow orange.
Yeah.
Meta Knight ass coated there, where you have to go challenge him.
Yeah, he's the evil Kirby. He's your main foil, your main rival.
Yeah. So, like, one of the people that you break out just hangs out by that tree.
Yeah, the bard.
And I tried to go into the tree fairly early on when I found it and got stuck because I couldn't dodge the things. I was like, okay, I'll come back when I have the thing for that. Got the thing for that, right? Now I can dodge between the insta-kill shots, right? I was like, finally, I'll go do that tree now.
Nope.
At the end of the tree, there's a freaking keyhole. And you can only get the key to that by finishing the game.
Yep, I had to look that up. That was a little annoying because I did the exact same thing of returning to the tree, and it's probably one of the furthest things away from the main hub. I know nothing's ever that far away, but you do have to do a circuitous route through the Lost Woods to come back and then say like, oh, okay, I'm missing this thing. And The game does have, by going to the map upgrader, it'll tell you in all the map pieces you have where stuff that you still have to find is. And so eventually there's just nothing left to find. I'm just like, okay, is there like something super secret? But it turns out you just beat the game normal style first.
Yeah.
And it makes sense storyline wise, but you'd have no way of knowing that.
I don't know. You mentioned the dodge, which makes me think of that. It's like that stupid tree where they've decided to put something that requires a key behind an ability gate.
Yeah. In their defense, the dude that upgrades your map, or even just the normal like next objective thing, never points to the tree until you can actually go there.
Yes, that's fair.
Like it doesn't show up as like oh, you're missing something here. There's something to get. But once you've beaten the game, then it has a little indicator over the tree.
Yeah.
But that's a very, very lukewarm defense.
Yeah, that was an interesting power to leave as an optional.
Yeah, I'd say, because none of the rest of the game up till that point requires it. You can always position a bit better, take care of ads a bit better. Boss, like, their bullet patterns are designed such that you're either like dodging or bullet leading or just getting out of the way. But once you get that, then all bets are off. And I found doing the refight of the true final boss, it was a much better way to end it. And then I'm still kind of annoyed that I'm missing one last achievement. I thought it was going to be the, hey, you got everything, because one of them is divest yourself of your save file. But then there's an additional one, which was hidden, that was listen to the bard for 15 seconds. And I was just too damn impatient, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Now my save file's gone, and I'm not playing through to find the bard again. It'd take like an hour, but I don't care that much.
The benefit of playing on the Switch, never having to worry about not having all the achievements.
Yeah, the anti-mind virus, clearly.
Yep.
So, some games do build them in, like, natively.
It's true, they do.
But I don't think this is one of them.
It does not.
Well, lucky you, then. Outside of that, I guess one last thing. Again, in the vein of Toho, gotta talk about the music. It is not like Toho in the sense that it's not like heavy piano and like that particular style, but it is like very adventurous, high energy, generally speaking, electronic. It's one of those things that I generally didn't notice, much like most of the game's polish, where you don't notice it because it's working well. It's fitting the theme. Not sure how you felt.
Now I can't remember any of the music. It felt appropriate at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, the dungeon music was particularly reminiscent of some combination of a Zelda dungeon theme and a Mario Ghost House, strangely, is what it made me think of.
Sure. I feel like Zelda, like some of the spookier Zelda dungeons can get that on their own, but I think I get what you're going for. It's definitely a mix of the styles it's trying to invoke of, like, this is clearly a high technology, mechanical shooter, but like you're exploring caves and like ruins and the beach. So it's like a little electronic, heavy on the drums, and a little bit rock. It's when I went back to try and listen to a few tracks, I'm just like, oh yeah, the feelings. They're always appropriate for the frenetic gameplay that was concomitant with it. But there, we did our contractual obligation of actually mentioning the music. We would need to do a lot of make goods for previous episodes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel a little bad about not mentioning it in Mio.
Yeah.
Just because Mio did actually have a lot of like choral music going on.
Yeah. This is a sequel to the Mio episode. You got to have both now, or else you don't get the full picture. Mio music, good. Again, one of those things that I just didn't really notice at the time because it fit the ambience so well. It kind of just worked in concert with, visuals and the kind of pace at which I was moving through the world. This one, pretty similar, although going for a very different kind of a vibe.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of other games that we've talked about in the past, we definitely need to put Minishoot Adventures up against them in our stack rank, which is when every episode we slot our newest game, we rank it against the now 60 other games in order in terms of how much we enjoyed them. Now, Tom, I'm assuming that this is probably a top 10, easy?
Yeah, no. I'm mostly thinking of where I put the other ones in the same kind of genre, which is pretty low, right? Like, The Night Witch is in the middle of the pack,
Yep.
Absence of Light is a little lower than that. It's weird to me. The game is well crafted.
Can't deny it.
I had fun while I was playing it. I did get tired of it in the post game, but like clearly I made it through the game and did at least the first post game part of go chase down the Unchosen, right?
I would say that's true end, and then the arena is post game, but we're quibbling.
Yeah. But like when I think of the other two, they just have more interesting things going on.
Sure.
Even if I think I was more frustrated in the Night Witch moment to moment, which had a giant character for precision dodging.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, I really liked the Night Witch, or definitely more than you. But yeah, I hear what you're saying regarding like this one is very competent. There's like no rough edges, but it's the like yeah, I guess I shouldn't interrupt you. I assume you know where you're putting it now.
No, that was me bloviating, trying to figure out where I'm actually gonna put it. I'm gonna stick it. Let's go under Pompous and Celine. It's the new number 40.
And two below, Absence of Light.
Yeah, I think to really mark those three games together, I would probably have to actually play both of the other two again.
It's not that big of an investment, at least for Absence of Light. I looked at my Steam, and it's like 3 hours for the whole thing.
Was it really that short?
Oh yeah, dude. Or at least it was for me. Again, like this is we're grading on a curve here, and depending on like if you do all the endings.
I don't remember, but maybe that makes sense. I don't know. It's just like I feel like this game is going to wash over me, and I will have retained nothing from it within 6 months.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's entirely unfair, or like even if it has the ambitions to really stick with you in that way. It is a minimalist shooter. That's literally its title. It wasn't really it was going for something very specific and something that is fun. Something that I found was very tightly designed, and because it passed through me so easily, I don't have any scars, which is great, but also, you know, nothing to remember it by. Unlike, say, like I was listening to our episode on Absence of Light. There's definitely a bit more rough edges there, but they went for something, and I gotta give that credit. So, much like you, I'll be putting Absence of Light a bit higher. Really, I think it's going to go below Blasphemous, which also has problems, but it does cause wounds, and thus that counts for something. Whereas Chasm, I think, I don't know, another thing that I don't remember most of it other than it being vaguely Castlevania-like.
Yeah.
I did have a lot of fun with this, but new number 38, Minishoot Adventures. But yeah, I think middle of the pack is about where it should be. I don't know, this style, like I like it when I'm playing it, but I don't know, maybe the next one, maybe the next Toho-like will be fine. But until then, I'm assuming we're not going to be playing another twin stick shooter.
No.
For next month.
Although I guess at some point we should check out, was it Toho Luna Nights?
Sure, yeah.
It's a Metroidvania.
It's a Metroidvania, not a Toho-like. It does have Toho in it, but it is different.
Yeah. But no, that's not what we're doing next.
No.
Although I guess I could have pivoted into it. So I have had the fact that there's a Castlevania coming out this year and a Bloodstained on my mind.
Okay.
And I think it's time to take on the Bloodstained that currently exists, whose I've already forgotten its subtitle for the proper one.
Ritual of the Night?
Yeah, I wanted to call it... No, I think that's the other one. Curse of the Moon is the...
Curse of the Moon is the Castlevania regular style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ritual of the Night is the 2.5D-ish, I guess, or I guess like 3D models, 2D gameplay. Every idea Iga ever had crammed into one game. I have played this before. I believe you have as well.
Yes.
But I played it before what seems to be a like truckload of updates and weird tie-ins, and there's a bunch of things currently in this game that may be new to me, so...
There's certainly a lot of DLC now, although I see a bunch of cosmetics.
I'm assuming there's a lot of pretty princess dress up in this game, so maybe not worth getting all of it. But sure, alrighty.
Yeah.
At the very least, I know what I'm getting into, which is not something I can say when I ask for feedback. I have no idea what I'm getting into when I ask you to send any questions, comments, or concerns to invertedcastlepodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter @InvertedCastleP. Never forget the P. Leave a comment on our YouTube page @InvertedCastlePodcast, right? Right. And various other social media platforms. I'd also like to thank Colleen Fraser for the use of her composition String Quartet No. 1 as performed by Duos Duet. I think that's it, so that's going to be it for us. I've been Eric Fox.
And I've been Thomas Blight.
And remember, kids, shoot first and correct your grammar later.